My name is Carlton Cartwright. I'm the Executive Director for Veterans Memorial and Multicultural Histories Incorporated. Today is Wednesday, April 16th, 2025, and we're here at Riviera Beach Preparatory Achievement Academy. And sir, what is your name?
Angel Gonzalez.
Okay, and what city do you live in?
I live in Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Okay, and what branch of the service are you affiliated with?
I am in the Army.
Okay, and why did you choose the Army?
Honestly, I got out of work one night, went to the mall, got in the office, and I said that I just want to leave as soon as possible. And that was the first office that I went to.
Where were you living at the time?
Puerto Rico.
Okay. All right. And how old were you when you went into service?
I was 20.
20? What were you doing prior to the military?
I was a nurse.
Okay, a nurse in the hospital?
Yeah, I was a registered nurse, yes.
Oh, okay. Wow, okay.
It was just not for me.
Got you. Okay, I do have several of my students here with me. I've got Jayshawn, Fostal, Amari, and Javante. All right. What rank are you now?
I'm an E6 Staff Sergeant.
Okay, and this is 2025. What year did you go into the military?
2014.
Okay. Where was basic training?
I went to Fort Jackson.
And in what state?
I think that, I really don't know right now.
Was that in the Carolinas or Mississippi?
Carolina. I think it was South Carolina.
Okay. All right. And how long was basic training?
10 weeks.
Okay. Did that include your AIT?
No, that was just basic training.
Just basic training.
Yes.
Okay. And tell us about basic training. What did it involve?
So I can tell you my personal story, right?
Yeah.
Me going to basic training, I was getting paid to get trained and learn new skills. So I had a lot of fun. It was challenging. It was not easy, but I enjoyed it a lot. They paid me to train me and to become a better person.
Okay. All right. So that's why you joined. So tell about your instructors, your peers that you were in basic with.
So when I went there, I didn't speak English too much. English is my second language. So, I mean, they only have to do their part, the drill sergeants, right? That's part of their job. And they are transforming you from a civilian to become a soldier. So it was challenging. It was a new experience. At the beginning, it's shocked, but then you get used to it and then you just push through it.
Okay. Any casualties in basic training?
No casualties. Everybody was safe. That's the one thing that the Army practiced the most. Safety every time. And every time that you do something, there's a safety brief. So everybody's tracking and protected at the same time.
What were your training instructors like?
They're just professional on their craft. And they have to do their part in order to transform you from a civilian to a soldier.
Why do you call it a craft?
Because that's a specific skill. You got to go to school to become a drill sergeant. It takes time and not everybody makes it.
Okay. I think that was a little, did you do something extra in basic training for it to be 10 weeks long? Usually it's like 6 or 8 weeks.
No, that's the standard is 10 weeks.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
And where was it?
Fort Jackson.
Okay. So you were there for 10 weeks.
Correct.
Where did you go for your, when you got done with basic, did you take a break and go home first, or did you go straight to your next base for your AIT?
I went straight to AIT, which is Advanced Individual Training. I was there for another 10 weeks as studying for becoming an artilleryman. I was in Oklahoma City.
Oh, okay.
Fort Sill.
Right. And how did you like Oklahoma?
When I went, it was super cold. It was November, December time-ish. So I didn't like it at all. I came from the heat straight to the cold. It was not a pleasant experience, but it was different. So you adapt and you overcome and you continue moving forward.
Nice. Okay. Any casualties during
no casualties.
tech training?
No casualties.
Okay. So where was your first duty base?
Fort Hood, Texas.
Mm-hmm. And how long were you there?
I was there for 3 years.
And what job did you have?
I was a 13 Delta at the time.
What is that?
That's an artilleryman. Fire Directory, FDC, Fire Directory Control or Center. My job was to get the ammunition for the guns and then let the guns know where they need to be shooting at.
Okay. Did that involve computers?
Yes, it did involve computers. It was a computer job, and you're attached to 5 howitzers, which are called paladins as well, which is the heavy for artillery.
Forgive me, how long were you at this base now?
For 3 years.
3 years. So tell us about your tour while you were there. Did you deploy anywhere? Did you do any additional training? Did you travel while you were there? And where did you go?
Yes. So when I got there for the first time, like 2 months later, I went straight to National Training Center to train for an upcoming mission that we had. After that is completed, we went to South Korea for a year as a rotation, and that was my first rotational deployment. And then from there, we came back home for another year, and we were put in a red cycle. So you are not supposed to deploy or anything, and you just do any type of detail on base.
Tell us about Korea. You said you were there for a year?
Yes, Korea was a great experience. Different culture, different timelines. Everything was completely different what you would normally see. In America, there was a lot of food, a lot of different cultures. We were there, for peacekeeping purposes. So a lot of training, and it was great. I had a great time down there.
Did you engage with the people in the economy who lived there, the South Koreans?
Yes.
And what was that? What was that experience like?
It was really good. I got to know their culture, how you talk to elders, different from like young folks. It was just different completely, but I enjoyed it a lot.
How was the food?
The food was great. I tested a different food that I will never thought that I was gonna test. Like I test cricket, frog, and stuff like that. So it was
octopus.
No.
No.
Keep out of octopus.
Tuna.
I eat tuna here.
Had a lot of fish.
No.
Did they eat a lot of raw food there? A lot of raw fish? Like sushi?
Actually, I don't know.
Okay.
They might. They eat the cabbage, which is called kimchi. It's a fermented cabbage,
Gotcha.
which I don't like that.
You don't care for it, huh? Okay. Well, during that 3 years, 1 year, were there any casualties?
No.
Okay, fine. So, what kind of jobs did you do while you were there?
The same thing that I was doing in stateside, just training and rehearsals for artillery purposes, and that's pretty much it. Just peacekeeping, making sure that everything was so good. If something happened, we were ready to engage.
How many people were in your unit?
To be honest with you, I don't know, like 180 people.
180. A lot of people. And what was that? So how did you get along with your peers and officers during that time?
A professional environment, we have a rank structure, and we keep in our teams. And instead of if we need to talk to our superiors, we are. If we have our team leaders, squad leader, depending on what the case may be. But everything is professional the same way that is in states. There's discipline, there's a rank structure for a reason, so everything was normal.
While you were there, did you travel anywhere else in Asia?
In South Korea?
Yeah.
Yes, we were given the opportunity that sometimes to visit the local area, cities, so we can get to know the culture.
Can you remember what cities you visited?
I went to Seoul and Jihan.
And where else?
Jihan.
Oh, okay. What were they like?
Jihan is more country, and you just see like farmers, but Seoul is like the main city. It was just one of the big difference from South Korea to the States is that they build up and down, and we in the States we build sideways. So all the buildings are just up and then underground.
They have some pretty steep skyscrapers in Asia.
Yeah.
Would you say you're more so than what we have here on a regular basis?
I haven't been to big cities here in the States.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in the countryside most of the time, but I will say mostly like the same.
Gotcha. You fellas have any questions for Sergeant Gonzalez so far? Okay. All right. So tell me 2 of your most memorable experiences while you were in Korea.
Memorable experiences. I did, like personal or like work related?
Doesn't matter, either way.
So work related, I got the opportunity to do the spur ride, which is something that we do in the CAV unit, first CAV, and basically You go through this 24-hour, 48-hour session that you are being tested physically and mentally, and then after you completed it, you are awarded with the spurs. This is a CAV thing, cultural thing. And then another thing, I got promoted there to E4, so I had a good time there, like professionally at least.
Okay, so by the time the tour was over, you had made more rank.
Yeah, I became an
So
E4.
you E4 while you were in Korea, you became.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got promoted.
So where was your next duty base? You went back.
Yeah, I went back to Texas, Fort Hood. Yes.
Okay, and did you deploy again anywhere?
No, after that, I actually reclassed to aviation.
To aviation?
Yes, so
Meaning?
I went to school to become an aviator, fly drones for a living. So I went to Arizona afterwards for almost a year.
And where in Arizona?
Sierra Vista.
Okay, and you were at an army base?
Yes.
Okay, and what base was that?
Fort Huachuca
Okay, all right, and how long were you there?
for almost a year.
So tell us about that. What was that about?
I was a student, so I was just going to school every day and then going back to the barracks.
And what was that for? You said what kind of aviation?
Unmanned aircraft operator.
And what is that?
Flying drones.
Flying drones.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so did you get into that heavily? How often did you manage that
In school?
job? Oh, it was okay.
I was in school for almost a year, yeah.
So I take it those drones had to do with either ordnance or cybersecurity, maybe
Reconnaissance.
reconnaissance. Okay, okay. I'm just going to ask you a question. How many miles out do you send those drones?
We had the capability for 150 kilometers away.
And how many? What is that in miles?
I cannot tell you.
Okay.
Right off the bat, yes. I don't
Alright.
remember. It's been like 3 years that I don't do it, so.
Gotcha. Okay, so any incidences that you remember that stood out while you were serving that
Nope.
that period? Okay, where was your next duty base?
My next duty base was Alaska
Alaska. How long were you there?
for 5 years.
Was that near Juneau or what?
Next North Pole.
Next. Oh my God.
Next to the North Pole, yes.
All right, and how you were there for how long?
For 5 years.
5 years in the cold.
Yes.
So what was that like?
Actually, at the beginning, when they told me, hey, you got orders to go to Alaska, I thought it was the worst thing that could ever happen to me, but it actually was the best thing that happened to me.
Why is that?
For personal reasons, I got to see the Northern Lights, one of the wonders of the world.
Right.
You can only see them a specific way over there, and it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I got to enjoy and learn new things about myself, like doing outdoor stuff, like fishing, hunting, rock climbing, all these things that you can only do a specific way over there, which I
Right.
never tried when I was in the States, like lower 48. I met my wife, got married, and then I have a kid there, so it became special home for us. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, over that 5 year period, did you deploy anywhere else, or
Yes.
did you? And plus, where did you take any personal leave to?
I deployed in 2019 to Iraq. That was my first combat deployment.
For how long?
I was there for 9 months.
You're a combat veteran?
Yes.
Okay. So you were in,
I was in Kirkuk,
okay, you said where? Iraq?
Iraq, yes.
And how long were you there? A year?
9 months.
9 months. Can you tell us about it?
I mean, it is a Operation Inherent Resolve. That's where we were down there. It was a stressful moment, obviously. People go there, we go for a specific reason, right? To do our mission and operations and keep safe all our battle buddies, right? And then if you're a team leader, squad leader, that's your job to be paying attention to your team so everybody comes back home to their families. So, yes, so there's stress in the air at all times and making sure that everybody's doing the right thing so everybody can come back home.
How'd you deal with the stress?
Well, there's people deal with stress differently.
Mhm.
I have my thing. I pray to God every day that give me one more day of life and to give me the support to support my team members.
What was your job? Were you operating drones?
Yes.
Okay. That was your daily job? Were there any casualties in your unit while you were there?
Yes, they were.
Okay, was it a lot?
We had one for the time that I was there, at least.
Okay. Okay. Um, okay, so, okay, while you were stationed there, when you went on R&R, did you get in the R&R while you were there and get out for a while and come back to work?
What do you mean by on our
I mean, did you get weekends off or
on
any time
deployment?
off while you were there?
No, you're
No.
you're there to work every day.
Every day, right?
Yes.
It's solid for 9 months?
Yes, it's not a vacation. So
Okay.
you're going there to operate.
Gotcha. How'd things go with your peers and the officers?
Everybody did what they needed to do. Everybody stayed professional, and thank God, at least my team members, everybody came home.
Do you feel like through your military career you had everything you needed to do your job?
Yes.
Okay. And also during your military career, did you ever have a problem keeping in touch with your family?
No.
All right, so that was always good to go, right? Good. Good for you. Where was it? So you went back to Alaska after 9 months,
Yes.
right? And what did you do from there?
Well, we were in a break. Obviously, we just came back from a combat deployment and enjoy family time. Enjoy the things that we didn't have there,
Mhm.
like, free time, good internet, and stuff like that
Right.
you don't get the joy to do over there. Not being in the sun, the super hot, like 125, 130 degrees every day, and then getting super cold at night. And it's just a different environment. So you start being grateful for every little thing that you didn't have down there, that you don't even know if you were going to have it the next day. So time with friends, time with family, junk food. There's no junk food down there. So like McDonald's, stuff like that, you start to appreciate a little bit more. Yeah.
No junk food. Okay. All right. Good, good, good. Vacation, did you, especially while you were in Alaska, did you take R&R and go to other places?
Yes.
Like where?
I went to Anchorage, which is the nearest city next to us. It's like 6 hours and 35 minutes to get there. Went there a couple times. I fly back home to Puerto Rico, which it was a 22-hour flight. But other than that, yeah.
Was that a direct flight?
I gotta take 3 flights together.
Wow. That was all military air?
No.
Private? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, while you in the service, even now, do you use the HOP system, by the way?
No, I don't even know what the HOP system
You
is.
don't know what that is?
Oh.
That's where you get to fly a military aircraft for like really super cheap.
No. Never been part of that.
Okay. All right. I'm just curious. I got to do that a couple of times. Anyway, next duty station after Alaska.
Miami, Florida.
Okay. You were stationed in Miami for how long?
I'm currently so I was assigned to Miami Battalion, but was stationed in Jupiter Station. That is where I am actually a recruiter right now, and that's how I know you guys.
Okay, so you belong to a unit in Miami, but you work up here.
Yes, in Jupiter.
All right, got that. And so, how long have you been stationed here now?
I will be 8 months.
Okay, all right. And that's directly from after your tour in Alaska, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What about medals and citations so far?
Like awards that I've
Yeah, any
earned?
awards?
I have a couple of awards. Got outcomes, CDVIs when I was down in Iraq, AMs, good conduct medals. Just awards. But
Okay. And what rank are you now, by the way?
Staff Sergeant E6.
E6. Nice. Congratulations.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, you were never a prisoner of war, were you?
No.
Good. Congratulations again. Okay, so I'm sure you feel like, well, it's almost like a civilian job now that you have a 9 to 5 kind of? Would you say that?
Not really. I actually had more time when I was in the line than what I have now.
Okay. Well, tell us about now. What is your job now anyway?
My job is to inform the community about the benefits that the Army can actually provide you so you can actually accomplish your goals in life. Would it be college? Would it be like a enhancement in your career if you have one already. Explain what are the benefits between active duty and reserves, which is part-time and full-time, and just engage with the community as much as I can so they are aware that there's more options. And like, I didn't know that I had more options joining the Army, so now I actually try to help students or anybody that actually needs it for them to accomplish their goals, and explaining them how everything works so they can take a better decision whenever they actually are ready to move forward.
Gotcha. Just gonna go back for a minute. Were you ever part of any battle planning?
Yes.
You were? Okay. All right. Gotcha. Okay, and all right. So now, overall, now this is where I really should have asked that question. Throughout your entire military career, so how many years have you been in so far?
10.
10 years. Congratulations. Memorable experiences again throughout your whole career. Tell me two things that stand out more than anything else.
So one of the big things, right, because I used to work in the civilian side and now I'm active duty.
Okay.
One thing that I will never change is the camaraderie that you have with the people that you meet in the Army. It doesn't matter where you're from, what are your age, color, it doesn't matter, sex. You guys connect in a different level because everybody has gone through kind of like the same thing. And even though the backgrounds are different, you're a team and you rely on each other to do anything operation-wise, or here in the States as well. So friends becomes brothers, and people that you know 10 years ago, you can see them 10 years after, and it's like you guys never left. It stays right there, and that's something that you cannot find anywhere else.
Gotcha.
So that's one of the things that I love about the Army, and it makes me still be young. I'm 31, and when I had soldiers that were young, it just challenged me to keep up with them and show them how the old guy still has it.
Okay. Speaking of that camaraderie, tell me how important that is to you regarding the mission of the military. How important is it having had somebody that's got your back, got your six all the time?
Because you can work in peace and focus on what you gotta be doing because you know you got somebody that has your back.
Okay.
Trust is a big thing.
Okay, just a few more questions. Besides the places that you've already mentioned, and this is like personal leave or being deployed, what other places have you visited besides the places that you've already mentioned?
I've been around the States, Washington. I've been in Orlando, still in Florida, but it's a different location. Fort Bliss. To be honest, I've been everywhere a little bit, right? I just don't remember off the top of my head all the locations.
Places,
but, you know.
Any other places overseas that you didn't mention?
I was a little bit in Germany.
Oh, you did make it to Europe, okay.
Yeah, for a little bit. This is a transition, moving bases, which is there for a little bit. I was in Kuwait as well for like a month. But, yeah, just moving operations to get to another place, yes.
Gotcha. Do you plan on making a full career out of the military?
100%.
Gotcha. All right. Okay, so did your military experience influence your thinking about war or about the military? Does it, I should say. Does your military experience influence your thinking about war or about the military in general?
Can you say that one more time?
I'll try it again. Here we go. Does your military experience influence your thinking about engaging in war or about the military in general?
No. So everybody that joins, right? Everything in life is hard, right? And you gotta earn everything that you do. You gotta work hard for it, right? So one of the things that if you join the military, right, it doesn't matter the branch. You are getting benefits. You're trying to get your life together and give you purpose and all that stuff. But there's always a chance, if something happens, depending on your job, you gotta do your duty, right? And your duty is when you raise your right hand, right, and you say that you're gonna defend the Constitution. You're saying basically that you're gonna be doing your duty. It doesn't matter what happens, right? So it doesn't matter. I will do my duty anytime, whenever it is needed, in order to help my battle buddies and make sure that they come back home safe.
Gotcha. Okay. How has the service affected your life?
It affected it positively. I came from a very humble family, single mom, divorced when I was 11. She had to do things that only parents are able to do. For those that are seeing this, when you become a parent, you do things that, to further the benefit of your kids. Well, I hope so that every parent does that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So seeing my mom not eating to give me food because there wasn't enough for both of us actually affected me a lot. So I tried to hustle since I was young, and then at the moment that I became a nurse, it was not enough at that point, and I just joined the military, and it changed completely. I didn't need to worry about money. I had money every time, right? The first and the 15, you get a paycheck. And the good thing about the military is that every year you get paid more, and then if you put the effort, you get promoted, and then that's another way to make more money. But it gave me financial stability, which means that I didn't have to worry about getting my next $100, so I could focus on myself to improve, so I can get promoted quicker, or even finish my college, so I can then get different responsibilities if I become an officer. And the Army provided me with VA home loans, which is something that you will use if you are married or you become an E6, right? You will be able to use these things. And I have a house. I have everything that I needed and more. I got enough to provide for my family, for my wife and kids. My kids' college is already paid for because of the military. They feed me, and whenever I was not married, they gave me a place to stay. So everything was just to focus on myself, so I can improve every day and become a better, citizen and a soldier. So it is challenging. It is hard. You have to do things that are gonna challenge you as a person, but if you go through it and you push forward, you will find yourself doing things that you never imagined, and it's gonna help you, help your family, and maybe in the future help your kids as well.
Good job. Okay. Well, anybody have any questions so far? Because I know you guys, some of you had. Go ahead.
What like when you did nursing? What got you into doing nursing?
My mom was a nurse, so I didn't know anything else. So I just wanted to follow her footsteps, and real quick find out that I didn't like doing that. So sometimes we try to be complacent and trying to do what our parents tell us, but sometimes our parents have the best intentions, but it's not the best fitted for you. So I did that, and that's why I went to college or anything. If I would have known what I know now, I would have gone to the military as soon as I graduated high school. I would have made my own money. I would have probably have more rank right now, and who knows?
I want to ask you, where did you go to school for nursing?
In Puerto Rico.
Okay, and how long were you in school?
I was in school since I was 16 until...
For nursing?
Yes.
Wow, you started when you were 16. Go ahead.
Until I was 20.
4 years.
Yes.
Right, did you get it?
3 years and a half, because I
Did
got
you get
a
a certification?
Yeah, I got my RN license and all that stuff, and I almost finished my BSN. That's one of the mistakes that I regret.
What is a BSN?
Is the bachelor's nurse, but that's the nurse in charge of all the RNs in a floor specifically.
The leadership position.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So I could have just finished because I was one semester off, but I was so fed up that I didn't have guidance. I didn't have a mentor. That's one of the good things about the military, that you will know leaders that are gonna mentor you and guide you, so you can become more successful than them whenever you are in your career. So if I would have that, I would have probably have a lot of money right now, and different things that I would have done, like real estate wise.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
All right, and so I know the answer to this. The service affected you in a positive way so far.
Mm-hmm.
And is there anything else that you'd like to add that you feel like you haven't mentioned?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay, well, in that case, I want to thank you for a great interview, and I also want to thank you for your continued service.
Appreciate it.